Hello, how are you? This is Els Company from Bemis Crafty Corner, and I have a little project for us. This is a little slot pocket that I've put together, and it uses about half a sheet of cardstock and then, just a small piece of decorated paper. So I'm going to get everything out, show you guys all the cuts and everything you need to make for this, and we're going to go quickly assemble it, and hopefully you can use this in your journals. And it's a glue down item, but you could just toss it in if you want it to, or tuck it into a different pocket. You can make the pockets as long or as short as you want. I wanted to have at least one long pocket in the middle, so I cut this a little bit separate, but the pockets do stop at the bottom. So I'm gonna get everything out and give you a supply list, and then we'll get started on putting this together. I'll be right back. Okay, supplies: paper trimmer, scoreboard, scoring tools, ink and a dauber, scissors, ruler could be helpful here. You're going to want a die that's going to create a slot for you. If you don't have this, don't freak out. I'm going to show you an alternative way to do it. Some cardstock and a piece of paper. And this one is, I'm going to be working on a ladybug journal pretty soon. So I figured I might as well get started on some ephemera for it and, use this. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started doing some cuts, and then, we'll get this done. So let's get the scoreboard out of the way for the moment and bring in our trimmer. Okay. So obviously the first thing we want to do is we want to clean this piece up, because it's got that border on it. Now this is just printed on standard 28-pound copy paper, which is what I typically use when I am making a digital print like this, and so, because it has a good weight, it's really close to your standard scrapbook paper. So we're going to trim this top and bottom. So we just have, our image. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and cut our piece of cardstock. So we want our piece of cardstock to be 5 1/4 inches. And on my trimmer, that just happens to be the end of the plate. So 5 1/4. Which is going to leave you slightly more than you need to do this a second time. Okay? And then our piece is going to end up being 2 inches wide, 2.5 inches wide by 8 1/4 inches tall. So we're going to go 8 inches by 2 1/4. So I'm going to figure out where I want my 2 1/4 from. And I'm going to cut that piece. And then I need this to be about 8 1/4. So let me see. It's pretty close. All right. So we're going to get this taken out of the way. I'm going to get the scoring tools out, and I'll be right back. All right. Scoring on this is easy. On the front, whatever you want the outside to be, because this is like a texture. I know you guys can't see it very well, but see, it's got a texture. That's going to be my outside. So I'm going to put that face up, and I'm going to make 2 scores, one at 2 1/2, and I'm doing this very light. 2 1/2, and then over here at 5. And it's better to do 3 or 4 runs like this than to jam it, okay? And then we're going to turn it. It doesn't matter which direction you want to turn it, but you're going to turn it, and you're going to put 1/4 inch score on the bottom, or this part right here. That's going to be your bottom, okay? Now, a little bit of trimming here. This piece is going to be folded in and folded over, and that's going to create our pocket. But we need this little piece down here to go away. And this piece here, we're going to keep this little flap. So we're going to wedge it. We're going to wedge on this side. We are going to get rid of this. And this. Okay. And then we're going to wedge this piece at the top. That's pretty much it for cutting. And then at this point, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be folding these in. Now remember, wherever there's a valley, make a hill. Okay. And on this little piece right here, if you have problems folding it, the easiest way to do this is to put a ruler there, and on whichever side you have the bulk of material, that's the side you lift, and that helps you get that crease started. Okay, so we're going to fold all of this. We're going to hit it with the bone folder. And this now becomes your front piece, okay? So the piece that has the flap on the side, that's your front piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this onto here, okay? So let's go ahead and ink this up. And you don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't want to ink, don't ink. Okay, you know, I do it because if I don't do it, then I hear a lot of you're doing it wrong. But this is your project. You do what you want. Okay. Heck, I get in trouble for not even using Vintage Photo. Heavens, I know, right? All right. Now I can ink the outside if I want to, you know, the background, but let's be honest, it's green. If I put brown ink on it, it's gonna look stupid. Okay, glue, tape. If you want to use tape, use tape. Okay, I'm gonna use some glue, and I'm using the Obsede right now because it doesn't dry quite as fast as my art glitter glue does, so it gives me a couple of seconds to wiggle before it sets, so I can make sure I got it everything lined up nice. Okay, so as always, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up here, line up two sides, and the rest will pretty much fall into place. Okay, then if I'm going to put a finger pull at the top, now would be the time to do that. You don't have to. But if you want to, now would be a good time to do that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to use our die cutting machine, because obviously we're going to use a die. All right. So I'm going to get that out and I'll be right back. Okie dokie. So now I'm going to have to decide where I'm going to put how deep I want my pockets and where I'm going to put my little slot. Okay. So I can measure this out or I can eyeball it. And all I really want to be sure of is that this is straight on the piece. So I'm going to make one pocket there, and then I'm going to make another one here, and I think I'm going to make a big pocket at the bottom. Okay? So let me get my plates out here. Oh, I know, they're so horrible. Alright, so I'm going to put this on. And I'm lucky because I've got lines on this paper. So I'm going to use my lines to kind of help me set this up. And then I'm just going to cut this. And then I'm going to cut the other one as well. Take the first one out. And get rid of that. This die doesn't have a pokey thing in the back. You know, you have to do this thing on the front. And then I'm going to do it just above this ladybug's head. Okay. Okay. We'll take that out. And we'll go ahead and take this out of the die. And I'm going to get this out of the way, and then I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you how to do this if you don't have, you know, this slot cutting die or something similar to it. So I'll be right back. All right. So let's say you don't have this die. You don't have a die like this. You don't have one that you can use to cut slots. Let me show you something. So what you probably do have is a hole punch. So we're going to decide where we want them to be. And we're going to use our pencil here. And I'm just going to put a ruler on here, and I'm going to put a dot where I want my pocket to be. And from the top, we'll go about 2 1/4. And we're going to put that mark on both sides, okay? We're going to come in with our hole punch, and we're going to punch our holes. Open this up. Now, if you have the big bite, all the better. But if you don't, just go through the double thickness here, okay? It's not going to matter. All right, now, because that is going to be glued down anyway, all right? So now you have 2 spots here. You have a ruler and a craft knife. Just put your ruler right at the bottom cut across, put it right at the very top, and you've created the exact same slot, okay? And you can do the same thing further down and have your double pockets, okay? So let's do it one more time. Only this time we'll use the big bite because we have one, you know. Yeah, big bite. So again, we're just going to line up where we want our spots to be. And I think we're going to go at about 5 1/2 on this one. Just going to put that right there. Line it up. Poke a hole. Come over. Poke a hole. Okay? Again, I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going right at the very top of the hole. Cutting, And if you don't have a craft knife and a ruler, you can do this on the plunge style cutters very easily. Okay. So if you have this type of paper trimmer, you can do the same thing with this. You just bring it over, plunge it in, go to the edge. Okay, just like when we cut the notches to make file folders and things. All right, so now we have double pockets here. I'm going to go ahead and get these both out. We're going to get them glued up and finish this project. I'll be right back. So gluing this up is pretty easy peasy. If you want to put the finger notch, put the finger notch. I did this one without the finger notch because, you know, you don't need to have it. Okay, so gluing this up is pretty easy. It's 4 lines of glue. You're going to put one here on our little flap at the bottom, one on the flap that goes up the side, and then just across the top of these pockets, and that's going to block them out. Okay, so bring this over, put that, push that down, do our edges, do the bottoms of our pockets, hold it for just a couple of seconds. You know, you want it to, if you wanted to ink these, you could do that too after you cut them. That's entirely up to you. But there you go. So what I have now is I have top pockets, I have a nice middle pocket, and I have a bottom pocket. And then over here again, I have a top pocket, a bottom middle pocket, and then a nice deep bottom pocket. Okay, that's it. That's my quick little project for today. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section below, or, you know, reach out to me via email or text message, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But that's it. That's my quick little project for today. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we have a giant crafting community. I do go live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. You know, and any other time I want to. I usually post twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, but again, can be anytime. And I have, let's see, 2 things going on, 3 things actually. On Sundays, we have trivia. So if you're interested in playing with us, we do have prizes. We're working towards, you know, an end of the year championship. We're going to do a one-to-one championship, 1 elimination, down to our grand trivia champion. But we do give away prizes weekly on that, and it's kind of fun. Great group of ladies have been playing, and we invite you to join. Now, the other thing I have going on are free classes. I do free classes that I offer, and those videos post on Saturdays. The best way to find out when they're posting is to make sure that when you subscribe, you select the all notification, and that way you get told as soon as those videos are released. Let's see, what else? And then I have my 12 of 22 journal challenge. If you'd like more information on that, go to the description box below, click on the link. It's going to take you to a slideshow. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know. You do not need to complete 12 journals at this point to, you know, be a part of. You only have to do 1 journal a month. That's it. And it's a little journal. It's a little journal, tiny. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you. Until I see you again, stay well. Bye-bye.